Okay, let's dive right in. If you're in the talent space today, or even thinking about it, there's this core question you're probably wrestling with.
Definitely. It's unavoidable right now.
Yeah, it's about skills, career strategy, team building,
Yeah.
really fundamental stuff. Is Talend Studio, the classic tool, still essential? Or is Talend Cloud basically taken over?
It's probably the key strategic question for Talend users. For ages, Talend Studio was it, the go-to, that Eclipse-based on-prem powerhouse. It's what everyone learned, what companies built their foundations on.
And it's still the reality for a lot of places, running pipelines that are absolutely critical.
Absolutely. Can't forget that. But the whole world, especially the data world, is rushing towards the cloud.
Right.
And that massive shift is what's really pushing Talend Cloud forward. It's their SaaS platform built for, modern cloud stuff,
Oh, yeah.
agility, integrating with cloud sources in a way Studio wasn't originally designed for.
So for you listening, developer or manager, figuring out which skill set has more market value right now. That's crucial. And that's what we're digging into today. We've got some notes, some insights right here, really zeroing in on that studio versus cloud value question.
Yeah, we looked at the material focusing on what companies are actually hiring for, what skills are in demand, and where the smart money is for individuals and for companies building teams. It's about getting a clear picture of the current landscape.
All right, let's get into it. What jumps out from these insights? It seems like the main takeaway is, well, it's nuanced. It's not just cloud wins, studio loses.
Exactly. The material is pretty clear. Talent Cloud, definitely rising. It's the future direction. But Talent Studio, still incredibly valuable, still holds significant weight in the market today.
Okay, so that's the tension. Why does studio still hold so much value?
Well, think about the huge number of companies that have been using Talent Studio for years. We're talking big enterprises, complex setups, maybe decades of data integration logic built right in Studio.
Right, stuff deeply embedded.
Deeply embedded, often tied into older on-prem systems, ERPs, CRMs, you name it. Sometimes with custom Java code, really intricate job designs developed over a long time.
You can't just flip a switch on that.
No way. The sources point out these systems need ongoing work maintenance, updates, connecting new things internally. So companies need skilled studio developers just to keep the lights on, keep critical stuff running. That demand, maybe not exploding like cloud, but it's solid, it's real. There's serious value there.
Okay, so studio is the solid foundation for many, but cloud is rising fast. Where's that demand centered? What specific skills are we talking about?
The sources show cloud skills demand is, well, booming. It's driven by cloud migrations, companies moving to cloud data warehouses, data lakes, needing to connect to all those SaaS apps and APIs out there.
Makes sense.
And skill-wise, it means getting good with the Talend Cloud platform itself. So understanding the Talend Management Console, that web UI for deploying, managing, monitoring everything in the cloud.
Okay, the command center.
Right. And working with tools like the Pipeline Designer. Now that's interesting because it's a separate web-based tool for building pipelines visually. In the cloud, it's different from designing jobs the traditional way in Studio.
Oh, so a potentially different design experience within the same ecosystem?
Exactly. Plus, you need to understand cloud engines, how jobs actually run in the cloud, like cloud engines for Spark or remote engines for hybrid scenarios. And, of course, just getting really good at connecting to cloud sources, integrating SaaS platforms, APIs, cloud security, cost optimization, all that modern stuff. Companies are building their future there.
So we've got this need for studio for the present, maybe the past, and this surging need for cloud for the future. It sounds like a split. But the material pointed to something else too, right? About how they relate.
Yeah, this is really key, and the sources hammer this point home. Talend Cloud doesn't always replace Studio. Often, it actually complements it.
How so?
Think about it. Lots of developers know Studio inside and out. They're super productive, building complex logic there, maybe with custom code, tricky transformations.
The familiar IDE environment.
Exactly. The sources say many teams still use Studio for that heavy lifting, the detailed job design. They build the job in Studio, but then they don't deploy it on-prem. They publish it to Talend Cloud.
Oh, okay. So design in studio, but run and manage it using the cloud platform.
Precisely. They use the Talend Management Console in the cloud to handle the scheduling, the monitoring, the scaling of those jobs that were originally built in Studio. It lets them use the cloud's operational benefits, agility, scale while leveraging their existing Studio skills and assets.
That makes a ton of sense. It bridges the old and the new.
Yeah.
And I bet that leads directly to who's most valuable in the market right now.
You got it. That hybrid approach design in Studio, run in cloud, plus the need for pure cloud-native development means that people who know both, they're gold.
Hybrid skills.
Yep. The ability to work in Studio, understand its complexities, and know how to deploy, manage, scale effectively in the cloud using TMC, maybe even build natively in Pipeline Designer. That's the sweet spot the material points to. Hybrid talent is king right now.
Okay, so let's break that down. For you listening, if you're a developer strong in Studio, that's still valuable. But the message is clear. Adding those cloud skills isn't just nice to have anymore.
It's pretty much essential for maximizing your value, for future-proofing. Get hands-on with TMC, understand Pipeline Designer, learn the cloud engines, and really focus on SaaS and API integration. That's where things are heading.
And if you're hiring, a manager or recruiter, the advice is be specific. Talent experience isn't enough.
Not even close. Are you hiring mainly for maintaining old, complex Studio jobs tied to legacy stuff? You need deep Studio mastery, building a new cloud data lake, integrating cloud apps. You need native Talend Cloud skills, Pipeline Designer, cloud engines.
But if you're migrating or need someone for both legacy and new cloud stuff or using that hybrid model,
Then you need that hybrid skill set. The source is really stress defining the need based on where your company actually is on its cloud journey, because maintaining a 10-year-old Studio job is worlds apart from building new pipelines in Talend Cloud to link Salesforce and Snowflake. Both use Talend, but it's different work.
Okay, so wrapping up the key points from this deep dive. Talend Cloud skills. Absolutely rising, that's the direction. Talend Studio skills. Still holding significant value, especially for existing systems.
And the clear takeaway from the source material, hybrid talent. Professionals comfortable and capable across both Studio and cloud design, deployment, management, cloud-native tools. That's the most valuable combination right now. Adaptability is key.
The smartest investment for yourself or your team seems to be building that bridge between the two worlds.
Makes perfect sense in a changing landscape.
Okay, thinking about that change and the value of hybrid skills, here's something to chew on based on what we've discussed.
Yeah.
We know legacy Studio environments can be really complex, lots of custom stuff. So what are the biggest practical hurdles, maybe technical, maybe organizational, maybe even cultural, that people face when trying to actually build that bridge between old Studio setups and the cloud future? And maybe more pointedly, how fast will purely Studio-focused roles actually shrink? Is getting those hybrid skills now less about getting ahead and more about just staying relevant long-term?
Those are definitely the big questions looming over the Talend ecosystem right now. It's a dynamic period.
And for anyone wanting to go even deeper on this topic of talent skill market value, the source material we reviewed mentions a full article titled Talend Studio versus Cloud. Which skill set holds more market value now? The material also notes a company, Curate Partners, as a resource for finding talent or building capabilities in this area. Just passing that along from the source notes.
Yep, purely informational, directly from the material we looked at.
Well, that was a fascinating look at a really crucial question in the data integration space today. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.